You know what they're saying, Little League.
Little League.
All right. It is 7:30-ish on a Sunday evening. Daylight saving time got us in here a little early. It looks like sun's still out, but appreciate y'all jumping in with us, tapping in just the same. Got the All-State PG, Coach Barnes, All-State coaches on the way. We are Polk Hoops, and we have another edition. We live in the Man Cave. So, PG, what's going on with you, boss?
Not much, man. No
Hey, man.
complaints. No complaints.
Yeah, they're up and down the road, getting it in, making it happen
Man,
for the
back
ladies.
on the road again this week.
Back on the road. The TBS. Is it a
TBS tour.
plane?
That's what my team moms call it, the TBS tour.
TBS tour. So where's the tour head? Where the tour gonna have us at this week?
We going to St. Louis, Missouri.
St. Louis, the show me state.
Mm-hmm.
They say show me for you from Missouri. You got to show for.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, good luck and safe travel. Y'all driving, flying? What we doing?
Nah, bro. Actually, we were supposed to take the charter bus. And them 14 hours was like a question mark for me. I wasn't taking it. After that Dallas trip we did in December, I was like, man, hey, I'm flying. But I kept searching for flights, man. The price is just so high. And I finally caught something that was affordable for the kids to pay half, and then, through the organization, the other half will come out. So we flying out. 14 hours versus 3 hours is a big difference.
Oh man, that's simple math. The math. How many girls you taking? For folks that don't know, how many girls you gonna fly out of
60?
Polk County, Lakeland area?
We got 60.
60 girls on the plane together.
Great for us.
Special place of heaven for you.
Yeah. Then we come back, we home for 3 weeks, and then we fly back out. We fly again out to Dallas, Texas for Stunt Wars Nationals. And then we got one more after that.
Okay. So the ladies are performing well, getting things done. That's one of your many hats. Just want to kind of highlight that real quick. I don't know if you got anything, since you're just getting off the road. I don't know if you got anything in the two mistake or not.
I got me and Corey Sanders been inboxing each other back and forth the last day or so, and we're talking about girls basketball and how it's we both was just on the tip of like how we're more fans of women's basketball at college basketball now than men. And that's kind of crazy how it's flip-flopped and how the popularity of women's basketball has became probably number one. I watch a women's basketball game before I watch a men's basketball game in college now. What Caitlin Clark and Angela Reese in South Carolina basketball has done for the sport has totally evolved it to a whole different level. We're so caught up in UConn dominating that it was finally a good change. And we've been having back and forth good conversations about it. I put a post up yesterday about Juju Watkins and how Caitlin Clark's how her scoring title is only going to last 3 years, and Juju's going to surpass it at the rate she's going now. She's averaging 28 points a game as a freshman. And I think she's going to be the best basketball player ever when it's all said and done. Like, she'll be in that GOAT conversation. And then also me and my old partner Rashard, I put him down on her at the beginning of the season when like he was like, who is that? You know what I'm saying? And every time she has a dominant game, I'm able to share with him, the conversation we had. So just on Two Mistake is just proud to see the way the women's basketball game has evolved, and how it's become actually like an interesting sport to watch.
I think today was the first day that I watched a like full. One of my best friends tells me all the time about how good girls basketball is, and I just like, man, I ain't. But I sat and watched the the South Carolina LSU game today. Man, that game was intense, man. That was a good game. It was like the freshman guard from South Carolina. I don't know if you done seen her play. I know the Juju Watkins girl gets a lot of hype, and she should. But that little freshman from South Carolina, man, she tough. I think she had like 20 something, 22, 23 today off the bench.
Mm.
She don't even start, bro. Like she tough. She tough. So um, I definitely think that girls basketball has gotten a lot more recognition, and well, they should. Um, I like where girls basketball is heading, even in the county. With they getting recognition now from the Polk County, the Polk hoops the girl Polk girls basketball. I'm not sure I said their name right. So just it's long overdue. Like you said, it's time for recognition. It's time for them to get some publicity. So
Yeah.
I think the girl on night, the Watkins girl on night, rather she come on tonight.
No, they beat Stanford. Stanford was number 1 seed, and they knocked it off. And she only had 9 points. They keyed in on her, and I quit watching when I turned it on. That was another thing me and Corey were talking about is how she's struggling, struggled today, and she only had 2 points. When I turned on and tried to catch it, I just wasn't excited to see her not doing what I normally witness her do in the highlights or whatever. So I kind of just turned it off. But they ended up knocking off Stanford again. I think this is the second time they beat them.
So you think they got a good shot? I mean, I know you don't necessarily know the girls.
They got a good team because they got some girls out of the transfer portal, out of the Ivy League that are really good. So I think they got a shot, man. They're gonna have them with a number 1 seed. So I don't know. It'll be great to see semifinal, Final Four of Caitlin Clark versus Juju Watkins, and then it's Carolina versus another powerhouse. I don't think LSU gonna make it this year.
You don't think so?
I think they had I want to say I wouldn't call it a Cinderella run, but I think they had a great run last year that I think it'll come up short.
They was fighting. They gave South Carolina a fight today before the fight. But yeah, South Carolina on some other stuff. But I mean, LSU got with the girl that transferred. I can't call her name. She can shoot it pretty good.
The point guard.
Yeah, the PG. Then they got the Flage and Reese. I like them. I don't know about the Final Four. I guess it depends on their region.
I wouldn't want to play them if they got them.
I'm about to say I wouldn't want to catch them, but it's like I think all that star power stuff kind of got to I don't say got to him, but you know how Angel Reese became.
I don't think it has, bro. Because she got player of the year.
You don't think that had an effect on them?
She got player of the year, bro. I just think that the win and what they return, the hype of being number 1, and then you got a team like South Carolina that was undefeated. So if the expectation was, they won it, they're gonna return because they got that. But she was player of the year. Unless I'm wrong, I thought I saw an article where she won player of the year in the SEC. Her stats didn't go the same, but I mean they still end up like 26-4 or something like that. Yeah. Lost 4 or 5 games. So you can't take away what she they got a better team than they had last year. Obviously, Flo is matured. They brought in the transfer. They got a good team. So her stats didn't do what people would say like the starter messed her up. I mean, because she didn't average 22 and 13 or whatever she averaged last year, but she still was up there. I mean, her popularity is just, it is what it is. Beautiful young lady, model like look, got the hood mentality of conversation in her. So it's a love-hate. Like, she's the villain of the game right now, whether you like it or not. And that's what probably has trend-setted women's basketball to be where it's at, is because you have the hero in Caitlin Clark, and then you have the villain in Angela Reese. You know what I'm saying? So everybody will want to see her do bad, but then again, and then you got you have the Star Wars, what they call the Rebels with the South Carolina team, because it's like you can't not like anything that Don Staley's doing, man, because she does it the right way.
She is a trendsetter. It's it could be, Coach. What's going on with you?
What's
Um,
up? Happy Sunday to y'all.
Saying to you, boss. It could be a discussion. Who has made the biggest impact from a culture standpoint out of Don Staley with women's basketball and Dion with college football?
Man, I tried to get Rashad on the show, man. I just talking about you, Rashad. I'm talking about Juju Watkins.
It
You
could.
said say that again, bro.
I say it could be debatable as relates to who's had the biggest impact for his culture being a trendsetter out of Don Staley with women's basketball, just for women's sports period, and Dion for college football. They both have had an interesting impact on the landscape of the sport that they are involved with. And Dion may just be football, but Don
I
Staley
say Dion has made a
basketball
bigger
coach.
impact. Dion has made a big impact because in America, there's nothing bigger than football.
Facts. And
So
the
I mean,
economical
you can't.
impact that he's had also.
Yeah, you can't overlook what Dion did in the last 4 years, man. It's like he was at JSU was 3 years, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because I think we all as a and I don't want to sound off like racist, but we've all as a black culture looked for that superstar guy who we looked at as a hero and was as a great to come into the game and actually make the change that we're looking for. That's why we were so excited about the HBCU effect with Dion. It could have been another prime Hall of Fame type of guy, and we would have got the same thing. It's just that Dion was the one that snatched it up. Um, and Dion was very flashy about everything he did as a player, as a now as a coach. So you can't get no bigger than Prime. Girls basketball is good and it's trending in the right direction, but you can't get no bigger than Dion.
Okay.
They needed to. The NBA All Star Weekend is so trash. I mean,
Yeah, it
that
is.
that that's that'll make yeah, Rashad. I know you. That's kind of why I wanted to get you on today. I know you. I saw your post today too about the effect they had on. I wanted to debate with you on that
I, just,
live.
I mean, even like Don Staley from a fashion standpoint. I mean, it's just like she's making it like you said, she's making it um cool, for lack of a better word, to play for girls to play basketball. I mean, she's like made it a viable option. And I mean, obviously Prime, goes without saying, but I don't know if we downplayed the impact that Don Staley's had on women's basketball. Maybe we don't, maybe we do.
No,
I
she's
don't think
had.
it's
We can't
downplayed.
downplay it. You
It's
know why
not
we can't
downplayed.
downplay it?
It's
Because
just
UConn dominated so
yeah,
long that it's like. And don't get me. If you Polk County, you should be a fan of UConn because of Tiffany. You know what I'm saying? But to see UConn not even be in the conversation, UConn could be ranked number 2 or 3. But if Don Stadium number 1, you don't talk about UConn basketball no more.
mhm.
That's how big she is to the game. I didn't realize that she lost everybody on the team last year that was good. And she brought in all these younger kids and still dominated. And she just do it the right way, bro. You remember the video that went viral? The girl was trying to throw a little gang signs in the
Yeah,
picture. She slapped the hand down. Like that's what you want to see. Like, hey, we ain't doing that now. Let's tighten up.
yeah.
So
She's growing the sport for women. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they need. That's why WNBA they just want to close that gap as far as the financial considerations. And Dawn is great for the sport. You know what I'm saying? If we can get that impact for the WNBA, I think it'll continue to grow and they'll continue to close that gap. But I don't think it'll be, on the level of the NBA or the NFL. But anything to bring a positive spotlight to those women, I think is awesome. And it's a trickle down effect all the way to, like little girls. I seen a picture or a video the other day. A little girl, she had to be like 3 or 4. And her dad asked her, like, why you got your pants leg up? She was like, because Angel Reese, have, her pants leg up. She don't know that that's a sleeve, but, those little girls are watching. And I think they have a big impact on the sport. We just need to continue to encourage it.
Got Rashad on, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, I sent him the link.
All right. Well, we got another guest needs no introduction as it relates to Polk County basketball, girls, boys, whatever, and Polk County overall. So can't have a legitimate women's basketball conversation without Mr. Rashad.
There we go.
How you doing, boss?
There we go.
What up,
What
man?
up, fellas?
Chilling,
Man.
Fam,
Wish I'd got dressed. Wish I'd have got dressed to come hang out with you boys.
I'm trying to figure out, this guy got an East One, Teach One shirt on. You back over there?
Nah, man. I mean, I did coach with them last year. You know what I'm saying? It's just what I had on today.
Oh, nah, okay. Man. Appreciate the invite. I just want to go one
and put on a North Carolina shirt for Barnes. That's what I was gonna do.
Barnes and your people.
Man, we I don't know what we supposed to do playing against G League people, man. Like,
you saying that? Hold on, Barnes.
Now you gonna say that? 10-year eligibility people, man. What we supposed to do?
Wow. You gonna say that? You gonna put that out there?
I'm just telling you what I saw last night, man. I just saw 25, 25, 23, 27, 30. We got baby 17 just left school early.
Did NCAA clear them? Yes or no?
They're getting care packages from their mamas and uncles and grandmas.
Bro, just take this week. We'll see y'all in the ACC championship.
Oh man, we can't beat that G League team.
So Rashad, what's your take on women's basketball, man?
So Jordan and I was just talking about this too, bro. Like, obviously, like the women's game is growing probably faster than any other sport. Certainly faster than any other sport in the country. I would think maybe like Major League Soccer is growing, you know what I mean? But like, I feel like women's, by comparison to men's basketball, it just ain't moving the needle in the same way. I wanted to challenge myself, or at least somebody I knew, to go find the top 10 or the top 5 at least games by viewership. And I'm willing to bet that the women claim 3 of the 5.
In the last
which
couple
is
years?
unheard of this year.
Oh, I would definitely agree.
I bet you that's around Caitlin Clark though, especially when she was going for the record.
Potentially, that's one of them. But
that LSU South Carolina game early in the year, definitely. I think that.
See what I'm saying? So that's. And so when you look at it from that standpoint,
didn't watch the Duke North Carolina game.
Correct. And there's not like another meaningful men's rivalry that draws in like the common viewer. So I think between that part and for sure. And and just one other point to this, because I want to talk about like Dawn. I think that where we have new stars coming on board in all genres because of social media, women index much better with posting and not having to have somebody create a narrative around them. We all know it. We all played. We don't know a whole lot of men hoopers that are actually cool niggas that got something to say. Yeah. Right? Them women can post and become popular on their own because they know how to just run their own platform. So I think that's an input. And this is the part that I want to kind of lend back to Dawn Staley. Like, she, unlike most of the coaches, is a gay woman, but but also promotes those girls coming to those stages in their hair, makeup. She don't penalize them. She don't have them looking like the girls from the Pac-12. And I think that only helps the game, right? So you got all of these other cultural nuance things that probably go unspoken about what she's allowed or promoted, because her girls don't take regular pictures like the other girls. I coach girls basketball. Billy's in the same boat. A lot of times, them girls are discouraged from wearing their lashes or being prepared. They're promoting that, bro, and it's helping grow the game in a way that is probably underappreciated. And she's doing it with class and as like having them women come to the place where they're the stars and Dion's a star, but like who else is getting the promotional stick other than his kid and the one kid who was already the number one player? You see what I'm saying? So I think, so it's just like she's making WNBA number one draft picks. Jordan and I were just talking about the fact that she's going to say, hey, my kid should be the number one player. She should be getting the main money, right, as the number one draft pick. And she don't care whether or not she played for your team or the other one. She's just advocating for her folks to get the best contracts, because that number one contract paid totally different than the 2, 3, 4 and otherwise.
Yeah, that's
I just
crazy.
wanted to throw that in. You know what I mean?
That's crazy. So my question to y'all is with that, and I think it's kind of good we're talking women basketball for a change, because we never really do it, and to have Billy D as one of the coaches of the girls.
Billy is a goddamn goat.
Do you as a because somebody mentioned this, said Juju wouldn't stay off 4 years, and I'm like, huh? I didn't know they can leave early as far as the girls. With the NIL money that they're getting now, what is the point of even leaving to go play in the WNBA when you're going to make probably 5 times more money staying in school?
And that's why Angel Reese didn't leave last year. You know what I'm saying? Because she'll make more in NIL at LSU than she would in the WNBA. And I think you got to graduate, and some of them can graduate in like 3 years and still jump to the WNBA. So, but it's just not common for like one and dones, on the women's level. And now with NIL, they'll stay.
That money's too good. In the college life for a young lady like them, like Rashad just said, the way they social media, like I'm telling you, Angela Reese got to have probably the biggest platform of any female in
for sure.
That's not an Instagram
22.
Huh?
They got to be 22 years old.
22.
See? So that's 4 years. That's you come in at 18, you're not getting out of there to the end.
My question to you guys, especially Rashad, what's the next step and what's the trickle down effect on that side with the girls?
With them staying longer?
No, I'm talking about what's the trickle down effect down to from the WNBA or from college, what we're really talking about. What's the trickle down effect to here locally, and what's the next step for girls basketball?
I mean, I think everything we're going to watch for women's hoops, we've already seen model for men, right? The first thing is going to be once the W starts to really take advantage of having established stars come into and play well, the popularity of the league is going to grow, right? I mean, they just haven't really had their Bird Magic moment, and then certainly not their Michael and LeBron, right? That league is super young. The business is super young. And today I was like, dang, I wish we had invested in that joint. Like, I'm looking at Barnes. I'm like, boy, you a businessman. You'd love to throw some money in that W right now and watch it grow over the next few years. So I'm going like, okay, we have to accept the infancy of it. But to your point around like the trickle down, the larger the game gets, the more people want to play it. I think that's why it's continuing to get better overall. But I'm afraid that the acceleration for the middle leagues are probably going to create some problem. What I mean by the middle league, so like with the reason men's basketball is struggling is because you got overtime elite, you got all of that stuff in between, G League, all of that stuff in between college and the pros, and high school and the pros. Like all of that jump coming in too fast is probably going to be problematic for women because we've already seen it mature and all of the businesses already exist. And you're going to have a whole bunch of people trying to get in on that growing business that probably got no business there. So that would be my only concern with it. But that game it's if you have even an AAU program right now, you should be thinking about that totally different. You should be trying to build your overtime elite league so you have like an alternative to girls playing high school basketball now. So
Hey,
if I was in the business of it still, that's what I'd be trying to do.
So do they have, is Nike behind women's AAU basketball like they're behind? Like, do they have a women's EYBL?
Yeah.
Why is it not talked about as much? I haven't heard. I've never like really seen about it.
Huge.
Yeah,
Wow.
it is
huge.
I honestly never talked about it.
I
know me and you talked about the things you were doing up there in New Orleans when you had the big tournament, but I never heard the conversation about EYBL with women's basketball.
Yeah, they just don't. It's just not publicized as much.
That's
like,
what I'm saying.
First thing you think about is Peach Jam. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And it's not there yet. It's growing. And if it continues this momentum, eventually it will get there. Maybe they're thinking about, maybe partnering and having like back-to-back weekends or running it, simultaneously to help grow that sport.
Interesting.
But it's some big time basketball on the girl side of the EYBL. It really is.
100%.
But what I was thinking about from the trickle down effect, I'm hoping that it gets locally where we have more programs for girls. Right now, you just don't have the programs, you don't have the development, and it's a shame that most of the girls at a young age have to play with boys in order to have that opportunity. And sometimes that can be discouraging. And sometimes it makes them tougher. You know what I'm saying? It makes them play harder or whatever, but the development all the way down, to the elementary school level, I hope that part grows. It needs to grow.
How does it grow though? What does it take to grow that?
So I literally had a sidebar conversation before this with Miguel from Miami Suns, and he was like, "Yo, like I need to go pull up the note, but I think he got his program has 150 kids or something like that, and he's like, we're starting them at first grade, so it's already happening." Yeah.
Wow.
And so it's already happening. It's from those major. So like Essence having a larger grassroots program that's kind of, played out. Yeah. We just don't because of where we are and our gender, we don't necessarily know all of the players as loudly as we should. But like Miguel and Kim, like there are local powerhouses. I'm not sure who's running the game in Orlando at this point, but like, Billy,
we got you on because you've been around it. Like outside ability,
we had to develop everything.
You've been around that women's basketball.
Honor for CFP, Rashad. CFP is out of Orlando. Coach Honor is out of
I don't know who
Colin Prep.
So I just don't know who the lead is, right?
Yeah.
Out of CFP, because that was always run like a community as opposed to having like one figurehead who was like.
So are we missing the financial piece of it for Polk County? Because
I think. In the county, like we've always had developmental problems on both sides of the ball, right? On both sides of the gender. So I feel like in the Winter Haven program, I know what I've meant to developing both sides, men and women. Like I'm there with Chance, I'm there with Devon, right? I didn't have a chance to see this last iteration, right? But those were the guys who were standalone, two-way guys who were able to play when they were young. And or when they first enter college. And y'all know that you only play when you enter college when you have sound understanding of like systems. That's the key to you being able to be a college player. It ain't really like you got to be super. So I'm saying to y'all that overall, we've always had developmental problems. Like who was the last fully developed men's player that we had? We had great talent, but they're not fully developed because their programs ain't well defined. And we're not going to be able to well define our programs because we don't pay our fucking coaches enough money. Sorry for cursing. But Billy should be getting paid fucking $50,000 to do that job.
They do that.
And I share this with you a lot of times. They do that other states. So we got a system problem overall that's not creating the bandwidth that we need for our coaches to make key contributions, for our players to have the resources that they need. And they're already, again, like the best athletes in the country.
Yeah.
But we don't have the ecosystem to make sure they're supported properly.
Do we limit the facilities? Do we need better facilities or that part of the problem too? To developing that? Because I mean most guys that would want to start that little situation right there, they have to be in the school system or they're gonna get hit with what's up, Chance?
What up, Chance?
They'll get hit with
you know what it is. That's what I'm saying. You know what it is.
they'll get hit with the financial situation as far as, you can't even run programs no more in the county without paying that rent.
Somebody
we know that.
need to fix it. Infrastructure is that's why you get IMG. That's why even in football programs, you're sending your kids to these, other places. And then the kids who have the natural talent don't have the support. So it's all about being able to put resources in the hands of people that want to do the stuff and are capable of doing it. And we're not able to, Billy got to split all of his life schedule up with being able to do that job. So he's like, yo, I need somebody to develop the kids because I'm doing this role and blah, blah, blah. You look down at those benches inside of pro leagues and college leagues, how long are those benches? I watched who was we just watching? LSU's bench. No, it was South Carolina's bench. They got 3 on their training staff just for the girls. Their total staff is probably 20.
Yeah.
We struggle to have coaching staff at South Carolina women.
Yeah, see, we can't get that in high. We wouldn't be able to get that in high school around here.
We can't get 2 quality coaches at high school.
Yeah, but I think that starts within. McGriff has a whole staff, and they all have different job assignments that they do.
I think it's improving, but it's not overall there. You know what I'm saying? I think Kenny Davis at
Kenny's
he's
trying
on the
to
right path. He's on the right path. You know what I'm saying? Hen has his group. They're on the right path. But like overall, how many people can you actually say that for?
Well, what is all the assignments should be? Like I've sat down with a couple of McGriff guys, and to hear them say what they're doing, like how each one of them has an assignment. They're the strength coach. They're doing this. That's what's missing.
Strength and physical development.
Yeah, that's what's missing. You can have 10 coaches. You can have 10 coaches, but who's buying in and saying this is your role as a coach? You're doing this. You're assigned to do this. Kids, you gotta. When I heard McGriff got a person that actually has the food system going on, the nutrition system in place, I'm like, hold on, man. This is why we talk about the program effect. Now the talent level is down, but I think that starts at the age, like you said, at the beginning, the early ages. But the reason why I feel we don't have it around here is because it's just so much jealousy and animosity of who would be doing it. We have the talent, we have the people that could coach it, but then it trickles down to don't let this. For example, when I was training, Rashard, all right, you know this. I was training Tiffany on days that she wasn't over there with y'all. I had Celie. I had girls in the gym with guys. I had Miguel. I had Brett. I had guys training, and I still had people saying, "Don't go over there with him. Don't go train with him."
That hate everywhere, though, bro. That's nothing. But no matter where you go in the world, that kind of hate exists. I'm saying
it's different here, bro.
I promise you, it's not different here.
The ear is more open to it.
I'm saying it doesn't matter here because anybody who's going to win, like Tiffany's mom, she's going to say, nah, my baby doing this and that and all the rest of that. So the winners superseded, right? I was talking to Diamond. I was talking to Diamond yesterday. Gwen made sure she had what she needed. Yeah. If I wasn't available, but she'd already come through it before with, older kids. So that was her 4th child going through the process. So she's going like, okay, well, let me make sure they have the resources that they need. And I think overall, the resources are not quite as readily available because there's not financial incentive for great talent from an executive or from the coaching standpoint to be in it. I mean, you know how much money like I'm giving up to go coach?
Yeah. That's true.
You just can't do it.
No, I was gonna say y'all check out Shane's take on the conversation.
Yep, that's right.
That's what's missing though. The work ethic too. I was training the kid for free, right? Because he was one of my students. Wasn't looking to get nothing. But I was told I was too old school with my training.
But this is all a part of it. So you can have full staff. You can have full staffs of underqualified and not good coaches. we was having this conversation. You and I was having this conversation about like, and I won't throw their name in this way, but I'm like, probably not the best coach.
Yeah.
Just got the time. So I would submit to you, like, for all of our favorite programs, watch this. If you are a Dallas Cowboy fan, you're like, well, we got all of our coaches slots filled. Y'all don't give a damn about all of the slots being filled. You want the best coach available. If you can get Mike Tomlin, like when them coaching vacancies came up, it was like, yo, let's get Belichick. You want the best guy. That's how you get W's. Yeah. So it doesn't matter if you have it filled. You just got somebody who's a Rudy Poo.
That's cool.
We had so many non-basketball people contributing to our basketball program. I used to be like, well, it is what it is. That's what we got to do. We got to teach non-basketball people how to help our basketball program. Come on, bro. Like, that doesn't matter. You can have all of them filled all you want to. It won't move the needle.
And that's why everybody's running to Georgia, running to Texas, running to Alabama, because they're able to get that bag. I got somebody reached out to me last year. Y'all know about it, but they was trying to get me to come to Texas. You know what I'm saying? And the top end of that was like 135. You know what I'm saying? Somebody reached out to me about going to Augusta, Georgia. It was a 6-figure salary just to coach basketball.
You ain't gotta do nothing in the classroom.
Coach basketball. You know what I'm saying?
But look at what Shane just shared here. It's like if we're criticizing the coach of the program, that joint. And I'm like, the coach should not be sacrificing anything. It's a job. So if you put it in this position where it's about sacrifice, then everybody's going to struggle and be in a position where they're giving of things that they don't have to give. It should not be sacrificial. They should be incentivized properly.
And if they are, then you attract quality coaches. You know what I'm saying? You attract quality coaches. So therefore, like everybody knows all the talent here. Like, we're considered a football state, right?
Mm-hmm.
But let's look at the basketball impact that we have and draft picks that we have.
Oh yeah.
Just think about all the kids from Florida that are getting drafted in the lottery.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we're not only a football state, we're rich in other sports too. But the thing is, we can't keep coaches because they are going to chase that money in Georgia. Daytona Mainland just won the state championship in football. All right, that coach is from Mainland. He grew up at Mainland. He went to Mainland. But guess what? He got the head coaching job at Camden. So now he probably go from making
4,000,
60 to 100 and whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Come on, bro.
$40,000-$50,000 raise.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's why California and Texas will continue to create an edge as it relates to talent development. Because believe it or not, coaches actually have to be developed too.
Yeah,
it's weird to me that after 25 years, we're still bringing up Gordon Gibbons. It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
And I'm saying that with respect. Like,
the impact
man.
that he's had.
The last great teacher we had was 25 years ago. How the fuck? Then we can't compete with nobody else, so we don't got nobody else that nobody learned from.
That was interesting. Because we definitely keep bringing up Gordon Gibbons in the conversation. We don't go without talking. And you ain't been on the show. And that's probably one thing that we talk about. You haven't tuned in, but that's the name that always pops up.
Come on,
and even the fact now we got people in place like Billy D that could do the same type of things that coaches and people don't want to financially probably pay to get the learning of it or even the pride. You know, I feel like I was a great coach, but I do not have. Maybe Amber Smith is a part of my coaching tree, but like no coaching impact, player impact, no coach. That's bad, bro. That's bad for the ecosystem. And develop. You see what I'm saying? That's terrible for the ecosystem.
And I would say that's the reason why I've been coaching travel ball. My goal in travel ball, like the last 5 years, Toomer, Barnes, Tyler, is to try to help develop the next set of coaches here in the county. But people don't want to come and work hard. You know what I'm saying? Or people don't want to come and sacrifice their time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't mind sharing, my knowledge with you. But they don't want to come out there and be a part of the program.
Well, for us, I mean, you don't mind sharing, and you don't mind also playing the role to not be like, oh, it's me that's doing it.
Oh
You know what
no.
I'm saying? So that's the other great thing about it. But I mean, to lead that into the boys' conversation is like, is that why why do we are we in a state of emergency in Polk County basketball, boys and girls?
I think we are. I think we top heavy and gonna continue to with that trend for the next few years.
Because even saying that, Shot, I don't know if you know, Lake Gibson went to the White House last year, right? This year they didn't even have a program. They didn't have a team.
Barnes is about to say something. I'm curious because you in them streets. So what you about to say?
Oh, I mean, I was gonna lead into a topic as it relates to boys being top heavy in state of emergency.
We ready for it.
So, and this, kind of stay with me now. Can Winter Haven boys be considered a dynasty?
No.
No.
County
Shut that down. No.
state.
No.
Give me. Yeah.
No. No.
Let me give you some. I hear the early no, but let me kind of preface it with some words and numbers, okay? So they haven't had this much success since
Coach Grant.
Besides them not winning the state title, and I know that's the cutoff for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just look at
consistency is showing up. It's a LeBron. It's a LeBron argument.
Integration. I'm like, who's done more consistently as a program than Winter Haven boys basketball? I mean, obviously, if your end all is a state championship, then obviously the conversation is over. But if we take that out of the equation, and I know most people that's the measuring stick, but if you take that out of the equation, who's dominated more than Winter Haven boys over the last 10 years or so? Probably more than 10 years.
Now that, as far as in the county, they've dominated because they've been there more than anyone. I mean, Rashad, you got there 96? Y'all went?
I think sorry, go ahead. I'll wait.
No, I was just thinking the question that he just asked. Because we both was there, Shard, up in Tallahassee.
96.
Yeah.
96.
No, it wasn't 96, it was 95.
95.
95. Then they came back and you had the run with Gant 2 years. I don't think there was anything in between. Then you come back, you got Woodside on been 6 times. That's 9 times in the last 30 years.
I mean, now we all will say this one here. I mean, if you are a true basketball fan, this one here was going to be tough for them to get. For them to get Oak Ridge and Columbus back to back, that was going to be tough.
But we said that at the beginning of the year.
We said that, right? So
but everybody was playing for second.
Everybody's playing for second, and I think we overlooked Oak Ridge. Well, I don't think we did, but people overlooked Oak Ridge, and so I think they the best number 3 team in the state. It is what it is. If they in any other class besides 7A.
Stop. You
think
they'll be 2A state champs?
Who was 2A? Sagemont?
Bro, they'll beat Sagemont.
I'm asking.
They'll beat Sagemont. They'll beat Sagemont. They beat River and Prep. They beat Norland.
So overall, there was number 3 in the state. Is what you're saying?
They just got caught on the buzzsaw in that bracket they was in. I mean, you got 1 and 10 in the country. I mean, that's a tough draw for anybody. But I mean, we say 22 and 23. They legitimately, we say that probably they should have been back to back. If you want to kind of look at it that way, because they, as good as Columbus was, they should have beat Columbus last year, and that year before they was the favorite, and it didn't happen. So I'm saying take out the measuring stick for everybody, and a lot of people can't see past that.
Yeah,
because they have that type of talk. Mine is that.
I'm biased because I'm a homer, bro. So I mean, I feel like on this topic, I would love to go last, but
I don't. I mean, for me,
I got a lot to say.
I mean, yeah, they done made it. They dominated Polk County, and they got the most runs there. But if you don't win it, you can't stick dynasty without winning. I mean, the Buffalo Bills made a 4 straight run and dominated the AFC East.
Yeah, but you don't give them the adjective of dynasty.
Yeah, you did. You called them the losers.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, they lost 4 in a row. But I like that the conversation is, and you have to remember how many times they've been there.
Yeah, I get it.
That's huge. That's
and they're doing a great job over there, and they're going to continue to. Like they're losing 3 great seniors, and I still think they're going to make the Final Four next year.
So, okay, with you saying that, right? Is it hard to make the Final Four now? You can get a blessing.
You can.
You
can.
Let's. Me and my brother talked about this all the time for the last 3 years, that he would make it to state at Gibbs because his region was weak.
Mm-hmm.
But we knew when he got there, he had to do
what he got put on.
So that region they're in, was we surprised that they was gonna make it the last? I don't think they're gonna make it again next year. I'm shocked. I'm more shocked that Bartow or somebody in 6A didn't make it the last couple of years with the region is the way it was, with the talent that we had. So you can be in an easy region, bro, and you're gonna make it. Let's look at Evans. Somebody in our list was gonna make it every year because they have that split up compared to how they do Polk. Until now with Winter Haven being upper class.
And that's because the population is growing here. So we're gonna continue to stay up in those upper classes. And I was just trying to get here to get on the podcast, bro. They steady building apartment complexes, homes, and whatever. So, bro, we gonna have to compete with these people. We gonna have to compete with these people. So we're gonna have to find a way.
But yeah, make it just on the making it part, bro. That it's not it cannot be impossible anymore. Okay. And if we move to 8A, so they're going back to 8A, correct?
That's the rumor. Yeah.
Okay, so if they do that, then you're taking out more powerhouses out of a whole nother to make it even easier. So making it ain't hard.
So State Power Dynasty,
State Power, because Kathleen
there we go.
The State Power. Kathleen was considered the State Power, and it didn't get the win to 97. But I know growing up, all you heard was about Kathleen, and it went from 97. You got 2001. You went 7-8 years, 2007, 2008. But we still consider Kathleen to be a State Power. Lake Wells was a State Power until that 99 team, 2000, because they went 4 years in a row. Back when I was playing, Lake Wells was there every year. You heard Lake Wells and you heard Reebok, State Power. But dynasty, New Orleans is a dynasty.
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay.
Like OCP is a dynasty.
Dynasty, yeah.
St. Pete Lakewood was a dynasty when they had they run during that time.
Yeah. So
even Reebok was a dynasty. Girls and boys.
Dillard boys and girls can be compared.
Dillard boys and girls.
I think overall, like in the county, like Winter Haven is in as good, if not better position than any other program to have competitive programs across all of its offerings. So football, basketball, it's just something about like the combination of like resources and that it's not like picked up. Like Lakeland has probably too many schools So there's too much competition and too much probably like inner transfer. Winter Haven doesn't have that same problem. So like to the rich getting richer and that migration top heavy, that's going to absolutely continue. But I think that's how you become, like, that's how to eventually get to the top. Because I'm not convinced. And with respect to like all of the teams that went there, and I want to be respectful around it. Grant's team that lost in the final was the best of all of those teams.
Oh, I agree.
And so maybe, and I didn't see enough of this unit, maybe this team was the second best.
No, I think last year's team was.
Last year's teams were better than this one. Okay, cool. So this unit though, this group.
Yeah, this core, because you got the same kids.
Because I think like Devon's unit and Chance's unit, they were good, but they didn't have that thing. So I felt like they were a beneficiary of being in a program that was consistent, being solid, and having really good talent, but not having like that full like support and weight of like, what if, I think Tony Bradley was in high school at the same time. I think that was the Bartow one at the same time as that, those Winter Haven teams. What is Chance in the same? So like really they should have all played together. Devon should have played for you, right? So we should have had that. So we'd have had a national contender that would have the talent level that's equivalent to what Oak Ridge put on the floor. So that's how I see it. Because I'm just thinking about like, I know this might not be what nobody wants to hear, but I'm like, let's Polk County put together his best squad. Everybody else playing for second. I would love to see that because that's what happens in Miami. That's what happens in Orlando.
Tuma talks about that in Lakeland all the time. Like if there was basketball guys in Lakeland, they went to Kathleen. If there were football guys, they went to Lakeland. You know what I'm saying? Then eventually they start going to Lake Gibson too. But Tuma talks about that all the time.
Woodside is the only person developing from, well, I don't know overall, but Woodside is developing from first grade all the way through.
Yeah, with his hoop saving.
That's big.
Same thing.
McGristom got a decent program too, because they got. I know that
he don't have the volume. He don't have the volume of kids. That's what I'm saying. Winter Haven's in the best position because it's a bigger city.
Yeah, you can tell the difference in talent level.
Mm-hmm. We have to be mature enough about those two things, like paying our coaches and then consolidating the talent at the top, and then we'll bring championships. We can't compete with every time we go out of the county. We got the best set of like naturally gifted athletes in Florida, all spread apart.
Yeah.
But to your point for that, I got this sent to me earlier about the boys and girls state champions, the champs from each class. So for the boys, Columbus 3-peat this year. They don't won it the last 3 years. That's 7A. 6A was Pembroke Pines. 5A was Norland. 4A was Gibbs. 3A was Riviera Prep. They don't want it back-to-back. 2A Sagemont back-to-back. 1A Williston back-to-back. Then on the girls' side, 7A Dr. Phillips, 3-peat. 6A St. Thomas, 3-peat. No, 4-peat. Sorry.
4-peat, yeah.
American Heritage 5A. Lake Highland Prep, 5-peat for 4A. 3A Miami Country Day, 2-peat back-to-back. 2A Evangelical Christian from Fort Myers, and then 1A Hawthorne back-to-back. So you talked earlier about a state of emergency. So once again, South Florida dominated the White House. So, I mean, talking about the game, and we talk about the game, you know, we was all talking Columbus, but then Oak Ridge walked in with some monsters, you know, and so, and when they was the best we had to offer. That was like the best we had to offer by far. So to your point,
27-1.
Say again?
27-1.
27-1, and we had beat some people. That's the best we threw at people, and we didn't even really hit the wall. So,
what if we threw in, and I don't even know who the other talent is. So like, let's not, without even doing names, just imagine if Winter Haven had 3 of the other best players in Polk County. What happens?
They would win.
That's the only
that's what's happening everywhere else.
That's what's happening everywhere else. Plus, they got better resources and better coaches. Like Carlos Boozer bringing NBA talent, executives, and developmental talent to the table. Plus, they got all of the rest of the financial and physical resources. Ta-da! Like, are we surprised?
Yeah.
So until we mature and like accept that those are the rules, then we can't exceed what's being put out there for these types of wins. Otherwise, we just have to say, okay, we're going to underdevelop our kids. They're going to go to medium-sized schools and never going to become like,
But also, look, this the other thing.
High-level professional talent in that top 450 in the world.
These kids here don't want to compete like that, though, bro. Because we had a situation where we thought someone would be a great fit, would have been a perfect fit for Winter Haven. We talked about it off the air over and over. We figured that this kid would leave the school he was at, go over there, and it would be a whole different type of conversation.
That's coaching still.
And the kid did not want to compete. The kid didn't want to leave the school because he didn't want to compete.
That's still coaching. But you see what I'm saying? Like all of that, the context around all of basketball, it's about having somebody or people or groups of people that understand the mission. And that has to be from the coaching community. But the coaching community is like fighting over crumbs because we can't get nobody that's qualified and experienced enough and can speak from such a perspective that'll get everybody else to pay attention to what the goal is. We just don't have the mentorship. You know what I mean?
Personal agendas get in the way too. Like now,
yeah.
I'm not gonna average 25 where I'm at. I probably go to Winter Haven and average, 14 or 15. But yet I'm trying to be 1,000-point scorer, over here, or a 2,000-point scorer over here, or I'm trying to, what about my stats, Toomer?
But until we have our generation's Bernie Hayes, bro. Until we have our generation's Bernie Hayes to go and grab that coach and the parent and all of the rest of that go and say, hey, he need to go play over here so that he can become legit. Go look at what Bronny just did. You still got to go earn it. And somebody to create, to lead the leaders. We need that. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're missing overall. Again, I know I'm screaming it at this point, but
if you have those kids, playing all together, then now you're talking about going to the City of Palms and actually beating some people where coaches are sitting.
You get in the spotlight. You getting what exactly what you want. Talking about stats, you're gonna get that spotlight, and they gotta think about it. All those kids at Mount Vernon don't average 25 a game.
No,
and you still
don't.
But until you in the gym every day with other top 100, top 150 players, you don't have no chance at being a top 450 player. So you have to be able to, from the very top, be able to paint a picture. Hey, kid, I know you want to average 25 by going and playing nobody and everybody throwing you the ball. But the truth is, even though you're still going to be a top 300 player, go beat somebody that matters and prove yourself against quality high school players, the best players you can get, because none of it's going to – all you're going to do is average 25 and go to college and struggle. Somebody need to say that to the parents. Somebody need to say that to the coaches and make that clear to the player. Like, you're a coward because all you're going to do is lose in 2 minutes.
It's okay for you to say it, but when we talk like that, we hate.
Oh, yeah. But I created conflict in my own family because that's what I did to Devon.
Yeah.
He'll tell you. He'll come on here and tell you the same thing. Like, yo, we walked in the gym when Devon was like trending as a sophomore or whatever, and I was like, nah. Shed wanted him to go play for it, and there wasn't no disrespect. It was what he had and what he knew. Put him on a team where he was going to be a star. I'm like, he ain't good yet. That's when I called you. We went over to Diane of gym.
Yeah.
So he went from being, a star to being like the 4th or 5th best player on the team. Guess what I did? I stayed with him, developed him. I put him back in the gym. He come back to the gym in Winter Haven and Woodside. And Jamie like, what the hell you did to him? I'm like, yeah, I went and put him in a room where he had to fight his way out of it. It had to get him better. No, hell, I'm a homer. I want him to go play for Lake Wells. Because I knew he would have been, at the very least, he might have went in the 3rd best player.
Bruh, if he comes, we go to the Geico National Championship.
But here's the thing. The culture around us and my family, because I was a poor leader, wasn't allowing us to push him over to you. See what I'm saying? If I were a better leader, if I was who I am today, I'd be like, nah. Come on, man. Just trust me. We want him to be in the top 450 in the world, right? So we can't be scared of competition today. I would have been able to coach it, you know what I mean, and teach it.
I made that decision for my cousin when I pulled him from outdoor and brought him down here to go to Kathleen. I made that decision so he can be, and not for him to be the best player and just play. Yo, in order for you to get to the next level, you got to come and be a part of what's gonna make you
Yeah.
better as a kid.
It
That
ain't, it's
we're blind,
ridiculous for us to be like a 16-year-old don't want to compete. He ain't being taught.
and we talked about this then, like the next level, how kids struggle because they don't have that, and
Yeah.
they don't have the coaching that prepares them. So the options of going to school, kids don't even look at it anymore. What's best fit for them? You know what I'm saying? I knew Gibbons was the best fit for me because Scott in the system was exactly the same. We only went to camp every year. We played that system, so it was not a transition of, oh, I got to learn again. Compared to like my teammate Graham, he went from playing
Yeah.
zone. You got to learn all of that. All of that stuff matters, man.
So why do the best don't stay in Polk? Why the best leave? Is that because of what we saying, what y'all saying right now? That's why they leave.
But
They're
who's
going
been
to,
the best that's left?
Because Tony Bradley was the last one that stayed, and we thought everybody like knew he
but
was
Tony
gone.
was still able to play against the best. You know what I'm saying? Tony, they went to City of Palms that year. If T Mac stays at Auburndale, bro, they don't play nobody. You know what I'm saying?
He undeveloped, bro.
Like, what are we talking about? They're not gonna play nobody at Auburndale. But when Tony was there, they went to the City of Palms. Matter of fact, he went twice. He went as a freshman and he went his senior year. You know what I'm saying? So what programs are actually putting their kids in that situation? And I'm thinking who all went to the City of Palms from Polk? Kathleen, Lake Wells, Bartow, and Victory went this year to play in the Sunshine part of it. In Winter Haven. Winter Haven went last year. I
When
think that was
Haven played in the
Sunshine
bracket.
one year,
yeah,
one
they
year.
played in the bracket. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that's why
And
we
you
say
got,
the team last year was a whole lot better too.
and
They
you
had,
got to look at that.
But and getting all the best players on the same team would be great. But then you run to the question of who gonna coach them because
Can they
in
coach?
Polk,
You know
so
what I'm saying? Can you manage all those egos?
everybody gonna
Can you get
nobody
everybody to buy
we
in?
got a coaching I won't say problem. We got a coaching situation in Polk County. We got a lot of and I get crucified when I say we got a lot of Ralph Tresvants, that's on the sidelines in Polk County, just keeping it a buck. But so do you who coaches the all-star squad that would be nationally ranked, would be able to compete with these super teams that everybody else lining up? That would be the
Give me the best possible. Give me the best possible. I, I don't really know. My guess would be McGriff, but I'm just like, I'm looking at everybody have, like, give me the best off of everybody's staff. And some of these head coaches that are head coaches might need to be the assistant coach. Like, put the best guy. Like, I don't know why everybody's so afraid to admit when they're second. Like, there's so much power in being the second or third best person, or third or fourth best player, right? When you're on a winning ship.
you were a word, bro, and we. That's why we're successful in business. Roles.
Yeah.
People do not want to. That's why we're such a success at Poke Hoops. Everybody plays their role. Nobody feels like they're over dominating the other person on this show, and that's where it comes a problem with coaching. Nobody wants to accept that. Like, I know me. If I coach, I could be the best assistant coach in the world. I can't be a good head coach. I'm gonna study the game and watch the game to help you see what you can't see. That's a role you have to play as a coach. I'm gonna watch this. I'm not gonna be, yeah. We have coaches here now, not even just in basketball, that's in football, that had opportunities to have great assistant coaches, but they would rather have yes, sir, instead of no, that's wrong. Am I right or wrong, Barn? So
right.
all of that plays into it, man. If we had those opportunities, we would be talking about, we wouldn't be having a discussion about Dade County, Broward County, or Orange County coming through Polk County every year. And we're like, yo, they got this, they're better skill. They have this, they have that. because all the talent is here.
Yeah, somebody just shared like sometimes you have fighting with like the talent, like they won't mesh. We worried about all of these egos. Why are we worried about egos when nobody ain't winning nothing?
Exactly.
Like what the hell are we talking about? How are you defending losing? How are you defending being second or third or whatever that is? That's weird.
Man, we just
Like,
saw Oak Ridge, right? Come together with like pretty much an AU team, and 6 guys had Division I offers. Somebody had to swallow their pride, and their focus was for 364 days on that calendar, win a Haven, that shot at the buzzer. Every day, check it off. And everybody came together to play for that, the state championship, and have that. Around here, bro, that's impossible, man.
Man, we had probably our first state championship. In hindsight, we probably had the best team in the country.
The girls loaded, yes, loaded. That was Tiffany.
A number one. We peaked at, I want to say, number 5 nationally, but we was probably better than everybody. We beat IMG by 30. We gave up a game to them. That the only loss on that they lost by 2. I didn't go to that game, and Amber Smith didn't play.
That was Tiffany's freshman year?
Yes.
Yeah, y'all was loaded.
We played them again. We beat them by 30. We was running clock on the state. We had mostly homegrown talent. We had 2 critical transfers. We had Stoudemire coming from Lake Wales, and we had Brittany that came from Osceola. We had 5 players that were top 10 in their senior year. We had 3 players that were top 200 in the senior class. You got to look. These numbers mean something, bro. So when we talking about like a kid who out of 300, out of 400, talking about shots, man, get the hell out of here. What are we talking about?
So how did y'all manage that?
That's what I'm
They
saying.
wanted to win.
You got LaDon, you got Richard, you had
Johnny was on that staff too, right?
Yeah. You had the coaching staff to manage those egos and not afraid to tell them the truth and not afraid to challenge them. You know what I'm saying? So you had
to when you got that winning mindset, bro. But
it got to be taught.
We've seen that trend with y'all for the last 20 plus years, right?
Yeah,
we'll never see that trend with boys basketball in Polk.
Teaching though, bro.
That's sad to say though, but we'll never see that.
Bro, in life, everywhere I've had a chance to impact through my personality and all the rest of it, that's how I won. Billy, how about you?
Same.
You saying across the board, like, right? So it's our roles to be the leaders to teach them how to behave and to think. Like everybody keep putting it out on them. Like, no, my kids are going to behave like me. Billy, your kids are going to behave like you.
Yeah.
Like Coach Woods, your kids are going to behave like you. Like you have to teach that. We can't worry. I ain't worried about everything your mom and them taught you is probably a mistake. And that's okay. We're not penalizing your mama for not being a basketball coach. That's your mama. When you come in here, I'm going to teach you how to not quit. I'm going to teach you how to be a man or a woman. I'm going to teach you how to be a good teammate. And that's what we're supposed to be teaching. And I ain't scared to tell the parent that because it's not coming from like, you need to sit down. I'm like, nah, come to the gym. See what I'm talking about. See how I behave. See how I treat you with kindness and love and respect. That's what we're doing. That's the culture. So until we have leadership that's doing that, we can't win. But the problem be, you can't pay the people that have that ability to be in the gym. So right back at the beginning, we under-resourced.
Culture in which they had at Winter Haven. You talked about roles, Toomer, right? So now they bring me in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like what you need me for? Y'all going to the Final Four every year. But at the same time, roles. Rashard, great at player development. The stuff that he's do in practice, the attention to detail, bro, I'd never see anything like it. You know what I'm saying? Johnny has his role. He's a big part in development, strength, being in the weight room, motivation part. Then you bring in a person like me. I hate all that stuff, but they love it. You know what I'm saying? So I like X's and O's, strategy, You know what I'm saying? Game management. So it was a perfect marriage. When I come in, it took a year or two for us to get there. Then next thing you know, we went 3 in a row.
But last note about that, right, Billy? What you don't know is those were all of the things that I did before you came. So I know what it takes to win. So I'm demonstrating internally, yo, he's great at that, possibly even better, way better at that than I am. So now I can concentrate in this thing, and we recut the pie.
Take some off your back.
Come on, bro. You got to.
Yeah.
It was a perfect marriage. I'm not gonna lie to you. It was a perfect marriage. And we didn't
no ego, right? So now how do we teach Diamond and Slim to behave? No ego. Y'all see us not having no ego. Why the hell? We made.
This sounds great, man. This probably been one of the great shows of conversation with it. But in reality, that ain't gonna happen right here in Polk County Boys basketball. It's sad that it won't, because I think all of us will be a fan of it. And I hate Broward County. I hate that they come down. Like all my friends are from Broward. You know we see that at Billy D. And I hate that all they do is come up here like they can't be beat. And especially when it's Polk County. They like laughing. I was like, you like Polk? Yeah, but we don't have the same that they have because of those situations, man.
So who this is my question. So
give me $100,000, we can run it. Give me $100,000, I'll come home and I promise you we'll hang banners like a motherfucker. So, I know who to go get, what to give them, and build that joint, because it's already been done. It ain't like we got to recreate the blueprint.
No,
but it ain't nobody gonna give us $100,000.
Yeah.
So how is it that Lakeland football can do it, Winter Haven girls basketball can do it, but nobody on the boys side?
Somebody getting paid in Lakeland.
Oh yeah, Cassie had to get a check,
bro.
Come on, bro. Like, bro. That's what I'm saying. So, like, why nobody ever had this conversation? Lakeland got more money than every other football program by a mile in Polk County. I don't gotta know that personally. I don't gotta have no bank accounts, no records, none of that. I just know life. You can't be away from your family if you can't pay for it.
But you know the same. You use the key word that Lakeland has, bro. It matter if you love it or hate it. They have a program over there, bro.
Yeah, bro.
How do you build a program to move without resources?
Now, you gotta have resources to build it.
I ain't have no business coaching, period. I'm not a teacher. I'm not in none. I had no business. I only was coaching because my sister was the coach.
Yeah.
And then I came home because I was messed up. And then Johnny's my guy. And then I get to hang out with Billy. Under no normal circumstance does that happen. Yeah. All right, cool. You need to replicate and scale that across every city in the county, or at least a handful. That's why I keep pointing back to Winter Haven. Because if anybody's going to be able to solve that problem and supplement the income of the coaches, it's Winter Haven.
Like Winter Haven.
Anybody, y'all got wives and all the rest of this, man? Come on, bro. You know, come on, man. People got kids. Come on, man.
Yeah.
It ain't rocket science.
So, question, Mom.
I mean, it's just a question because we've seen it done successfully, but we can't seem to get it successfully done at the level like for longevity. Let me say it that way. You may have, like you say, bro, everybody got 2 year spans. You say I'm
telling y'all that everybody got 2-3 years.
Lakeland football don't have 2 year span. Winter Haven girls basketball don't have 2 year span. They are like 8. They have decade spans. Like, so how we get from the 2 year span? How we expand the rubber band? I guess, and maybe it's not possible on the boys' side, but we know it can be done because it's been done by other programs in Polk County. So it ain't like it can't be done.
The financial resource you preached about, the parenting and the kids, the pride, because again, all 3 things are missing. But the biggest thing with the kids is nobody's playing for what's on front of the jersey anymore when it comes to high school sports. And now you can get NIL money involved, so you know it's going to be a wrap. You know how bad it's going to get, especially around here. Let us get that one kid that gets a check. It's gonna destroy
he gonna be out of here. Ain't nobody gonna stick around. If you got a chance to get that money, you're gonna go get that money because you understand the game. Like Ralph just said that very same thing. And look, to the programs that get that gift, I'm telling you, my kids, and I make sure that they know I'm like, here's my life. Here's what type of life I live. I was spending this amount of time with you at this expense. This is what it cost me. Nobody else is gonna get a Johnny Lawson. Because nobody's stopping to think like what it costs Johnny to do what he's doing. So we think we're supposed to be gifted a Johnny Lawson. No, you are gifted a Johnny Lawson. You ain't supposed to be gifted. You just lucky. For him to give up his life in the way that he has, to do that. So I just think it's a weird question when people are like, what will it take? It's simple. Be able to pay them folks to do that work. We got guys who are basketball guys that cannot contribute to the programs or show up late or give 30 minutes at a time and things like that, right? Mm-hmm. I'm looking at, like, we got guys who work at, like, Velda Farms that could be coaching, but they can't do it because they got to put food on the table. I'm just saying, like, it ain't rocket science to me, Barnes. I know I'm saying more than I probably should and kind of beating a dead horse, but like,
you good, boss. You good.
That's happening down south in Orlando, in Miami.
So what happened to that first kid that get that NIL deal, and now the kid that's making NIL money, making more than the coach that's coaching them?
In high school?
That's coming. In high school.
Yeah, it's coming.
It's coming. In Polk County. In Polk County.
It can't come in a real way locally, because if that is happening, that means there should be supplemental programs, supplemental money for the coaches. If that's happening, then the coaches should be getting paid. The program, the way that those NIL deals should work, and I'm just speaking from an agency, somebody who runs an agency. You do a deal with an agency, right? And then a percentage goes in different places. Like the coaches get paid because they're lead recruiters for the talent and all the rest of it. So they're getting a supplement too. They should be getting a cut. It should be helping everybody. But it should be helping everybody is what I'm saying. If you go in and get your own individual deal because you did something else, then you don't have a strong program NIL, a school NIL program.
Yeah.
That might be the answer, though, Barnes. It might be the answer. And because I'm a homer, if I figure it out, you know who I'm giving the resources to. Telling y'all right now, Winter Haven getting everything.
So let me ask you, let's stay on the topic of Winter Haven then, because I know we don't have a great show, man. But do anybody think it was coaching, it was players, or was it they lost to a better team?
Better team won. If you ask me, the better team won. You can close the gap with some of those areas, and like I said, any given day you can get lucky and beat those teams, but you got to be well prepared. You got to make shots. You got to take care of the ball. You got to rebound. Like all the stars got to align for you to beat a team like that. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I think the more talented team won. But Winter Haven was a great team this year. Let's not take nothing from them and the coaching staff, but I just think the better team won. It was going to be tough for them to beat that team. Like we've had that conversation.
Yeah, we've had it.
You know what I'm saying? Like we know Columbus is the number 2 team in the country. We knew that everybody was playing for second. We've said that. You know what I'm saying? And people don't want to hear that, but you know that's just the reality of the situation. We're proud of what Winter Haven accomplished this year. Definitely. But
it just ran into the Larry Murphy effect.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, they just ran into a buzz. So I don't think it was coaching. I just think that team was just better. That team legitimately should have beat Columbus in regulation. Legitimately. Oak Ridge just they were just stats. Sometimes you just run up on a better team, and I don't think no matter what Winter Haven would have done. Now we can, talk about it. I think it would have been tough for them to knock them people out. Them people had 6 players averaging double figures. 6 players. And like you say, 5 of them either already signed or got plenty of offers to go play at the next level. And then they had the PG. You know that all y'all guys know how important a good PG is to whatever you try to do.
Returning boys, the PG and the Jones kid, they're gonna be back next year.
Gonna be back next year.
They're gonna pick up 4 more guys.
Of course.
I didn't realize they picked up a kid from Jones. They picked up a kid from Jones, right? It was another kid they picked up from Orlando. Was it Edgewater? They picked up somebody else.
They did pick up somebody else. I'm trying to figure out where he came from.
Where he came from. They picked up 2 kids from Orlando. So they're gonna pick up those type of kids. I just personally felt like from the get-go, and people thought I was just talking crazy and I was the hater for saying it, bro. But experience is everything at Civic Center, bro. If you go back and look at that game, when it got down to when they got down, they went to one-on-one basketball, and all the inexperienced kids couldn't do nothing but stand at the 3-point line and watch.
It was a tough one.
Yeah,
so, and I'm gonna say this because I don't gotta live in y'all world. So I realize that more and more as I kind of just shoot from the hip. But I'm like, everybody who don't have the ranking will diminish what the ranking means. So like, yeah, I don't care. It don't matter that this kid was a top 100 and da-da-da-da. You ain't throwing around rankings. They're not always perfect, but it means something because everybody that's making the ranks ain't throwing away their reputation on trash. Pay attention to those things because they are critical inputs. And when you have a positive ranking, like when somebody's ranked high up, you go to the moon about that. So I would go like, were we, as much as I'm a homer, were we a top 25? Does it matter? Because at the end of the day, we still got to win, right?
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, we should want to make sure that people have legitimacy in terms of how we think about their ability to compete against the rest of the country through the eyes of the rest of the people in the country that have already seen it. So I would say like, yeah, we clearly like was a top team in Florida, but if they was ranked that far ahead of us, we need to respect that there's some input that we can leverage to give us some clarity and manage our expectations.
People did not talk about that. We said, "Oh, Winter Haven jumped in the top 25," and we would be on this podcast. We'd be like, "Yo, y'all see Oak Ridge 13, right?
Oak Ridge 13. That's what I'm saying.
Winter Haven number 18 or 19 or 22. Yo, Oak Ridge number 10.
That's right.
The only conversation was, "Oh, we can't wait. We play Columbus again." We see him like, man, they forgot that these guys ranked 13th and 10.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It means something's telling you something that you can pay attention to.
Now on the girls' side, I thought y'all had a great coaching job. I thought free throws. I thought that free throws 100 y'all. I did ask you, like I'll ask you live on the show so you can explain it because as a brother, I don't speak behind your back without telling you. Yeah. I was wondering
Coach Jones
why when she had 4 fouls, when Hardy had the 4, she made the 2 free throws. Why you didn't go back to the offensive defensive possessions? Because I said that was the first thing that came to my mind. I was like, yo, I think I hit Barnes, but I'm like, I don't understand why they didn't sub her out. But when you explained it to me, it made sense to me what you said. So that might be a question of why they let her get the 5th foul so early.
Well, we protected them in the first half when they were in foul trouble, going offense, defense, and everything like that. But when you get in the fourth quarter, as much as Serenity has played basketball, as much as Jaden Williams has played basketball, and you're coaching them there on the sideline to be smart about plays, you gotta kind of trust them in those situations.
Okay.
You gotta give them that trust because they give you the best chance to win.
Now Williams is a stupid foul.
Exactly.
I'm like I don't know.
It was a frustration foul.
Foul. 4 fouls. You don't get that. That's one of the ones.
And those last 2 on Serenity was questionable, but at the same time, we were in the fourth quarter, bro. We couldn't really afford to take them off the floor, to give us a chance to win. But credit goes to those kids that came off the bench because we still had a chance to win.
So that's why I was so pinning on my head, like. Because when she fouled out, the bench played at a level defensively that I felt that if she wasn't in there on those possessions, you wasn't losing nothing. So that's why I questioned. I was like, yo, did you just watch what I watched?
Yeah.
The defense was just as aggressive and was causing problems with them out. So I didn't understand it at the time until you came up and we talked about it.
Yeah.
But I know people would ask that about on the show. But I think free throws lost the game. I think the game plan y'all had was great.
And what people don't know, we missed 28 layups too. You know what I'm saying? All of that adds up.
I just couldn't believe that y'all kept missing free throws. And y'all defended the best player in the state. Great.
We did. We came up with a great game plan. We had 2 weeks to prepare
she didn't force anything. She played the point guard role, and she still almost had 20. But y'all played her to where she didn't kill y'all the way that she probably would have killed anybody else.
No.
So, Coach, from the girl basketball perspective, what now as we go into the off-season travel ball, all that kind of stuff?
All right, so all our kids are taught to some travel ball program, and some of them are at an elite level with Essence, CFE, and FGB and ECU, where most of ours are playing. I'm telling you right now, we're fighting them right now because they want to get in the gym right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, as soon as that game was over, they want to go to the gym. You know what I'm saying? So we going to give them this week. We might give them next week, and we're going to be back in the gym Monday through Thursday, and then they go with their travel ball team on the weekend. Bro, we're going to be working from here to now. I told them in the locker room to tell their parents, don't take no vacation in June, because we're going to be in team camp every weekend in June. You know what I'm saying? It's going to take sacrifice, because right now, our mentality is championship or bust. All right, so we don't have to go against Trinity Turner anymore. She was a phenom. I told y'all she was a phenom.
Yeah, she was different,
you know, but still, people are gonna do what they can to get better themselves. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna compete. All right. I think it's our opportunity, and we got to take advantage of that. And it's gonna take work, and it's gonna be in the off season.
Okay. Let's start it.
Great job, Coach.
Hey man, well, we
appreciate you, man.
Great show tonight, man. We appreciate you popping in, Shad, and blessing us with the gems and the knowledge, man.
Some more rah-rah. Showed up some more rah-rah.
Yeah, man. So
man, y'all gained up on me tonight, man.
Hey, man, we thought we was gonna be coming in and celebrating, man, but we want to celebrate both.
What we gonna celebrate? Losses? What we celebrating?
We thought we was gonna celebrate history, man. We thought we was gonna celebrate history, man. But you know,
he lost. He don't won before he lost.
He lost.
That's why he wore the each one teach one shirt. He didn't wear a Winter Haven shirt.
Oh, yeah, the West End I
was gonna put on my North Carolina shirt. You know what I'm saying? For Barnes and his Dookies.
Thank God for the G League.
And I never thought I'd see the day that Kansas get beat by 30.
Whoa, let me text in this group. I know
that
got beat by 30. Only scored 46 points.
Houston jumped on them and then let up.
Yeah.
But once again, we appreciate y'all rocking with us, man. We don't take it for granted. Another season is in the books.
Shad, we appreciate you for coming on, my bro.
Yeah, man. Great job, man. Love what y'all doing. Love the platform, man. And down there to kick it anytime y'all doing it.
Appreciate you. Congrats once again to Winter Haven girls and boys on outstanding seasons. Fell a little short, but we still proud of y'all just the same. So till next time, y'all be safe this week, man. Polk Hoops, we out.
For sure.